Todd James here. In this video, we're going to talk about why working online is not the same as having a job. That may sound like a strange way of approaching this because most people think of their job as their source of income. And certainly an online business can provide you with income beyond what you're used to earning in a traditional brick and mortar job or in the job that you currently hold. A lot of people in quotation marks put the word job or they say a job, and for good reason. You have demands placed on your time, you have demands placed on your location, you have to go somewhere, you have to probably put on a uniform or dress in certain attire, you have to behave a certain way. Your entire being is being controlled to some degree by this job. Well, working online is quite a bit different. I can do product research at 3 a.m. in my underwear if I choose. I can do that at 10 in the morning. I can do it at 3 in the afternoon. Right now I'm shooting this video sitting in a cabin up in Southern Virginia, snowed in after we had about 1.5 feet of snow. So I can pretty much work anywhere, anytime, under most any conditions. And having this flexibility is fabulous. It's wonderful. But for some people, they need that rigid structure that a job offers. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you can't deal with having flexibility and the ability to prioritize your own actions, there's nothing wrong with having a traditional job. But the differences are pretty dramatic in terms of lifestyle. Last year, in 2017, I took 3 months of vacation time. Most jobs are not going to let you take a month off ever, much less do it 3 times in 1 year. In 2018, my plan is to do 4 months of vacation time. I've already got the locations for these vacations picked out, and working online affords me the opportunity and the flexibility to do just that. I will do some work while I'm on vacation, but not much, 2, 3, 4 hours a week at most. And it helps me come back refreshed and energized and focused, so I'm much more productive in the other 8 or 9 months out of the year when I'm actually, more restrained in my behavior. And it lets me get a lot done because I'm not tired all the time. I don't have to fight through a mental fog all the time. It amazes me how much things have changed in the last 20 years with what's considered to be a typical job. In our seminars, we hear people all the time talk about working through lunch, eating at their desk if they get to eat lunch at all. The 9 to 5 workday is no longer 9 to 5. In most cases, it's 8 to 5 or it's 8 to 6. So in the U.S., in any case, the workday's gotten longer, not shorter. Businesses have cut back on the number of employees, and they've shifted additional workload onto the remaining employees, and the remaining employees are afraid to say anything about it. They're working harder now than they have historically. They're working longer hours now than they have historically, and in many cases they're getting paid less. Pay has not really recovered after the recession we went through for most Americans. So you're working harder, you're working longer, and you're making less. And you're doing so under stressful circumstances. You're afraid to take lunch. You're afraid to take vacations. I saw a report recently that said something like 75% of Americans work through their vacations every year, either because they're afraid they'll lose their job or they just can't afford to take a vacation. This is not the life I would wish on anyone. we can get into politics, we can get into philosophy, but I'll leave it up to each of you to decide if that's how you want to live your life. There are better opportunities out there, and here at Responsible Passive Income, we strive to help you find those opportunities and those endeavors that will pay you what you're worth, that will give you the flexibility and freedom to live a better life. And you can use some of our tactics and our strategies to supplement your current income, because a lot of people truly enjoy what they do. They like their job. They just find their job doesn't relieve all the financial pressures in their life. So having a second source of income that's largely passive can certainly free your mind of financial worries. You can supplement your current income. You may find that, like me, you kind of back into things, and what started off as a hobby business or a hobby endeavor suddenly becomes a much more lucrative venture than you had anticipated, and it gives you the freedom to actually leave your job. And you may decide at some point that you really want to see how far you can push things, and you start scaling your business up, and suddenly you're making 10 or 20 or 50 times what you've ever made in your life, and you're doing so wearing your bathrobe or in your slippers. It's not fantasy, and it's not a dream. It can actually come true. The first thing you have to do is take that step. But I think I've gone on a little bit too long here. This video, again, was intended to just talk about the differences between a job and working online and working for yourself online. I think I've given you some idea of how things might be quite a bit different. We're going to talk about this in future videos, because this is really important to me. This is why I wanted to get into the financial education arena, and why I've been doing seminars now for the past 15 years, helping people find better opportunities. It's tremendously rewarding to see the change that can happen in a person's life, and I'd like to see that change happen in your life. So if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, look for our future videos, and we'll be seeing you soon.